background, preparation, process, and result in order. And after that, I will state about the conclusion and something we realized or anything we did. I will tell you about motivation and basic idea. This is where the Greenland Ocean in the far north side of Denmark meets with another ocean. As you can see in the middle point, there is vertical waveform. The reason why this phenomenon happens is that because of the inflow of fresh water, the Baltic Sea, which contains only about 3 to 6 promille of salinity, cannot be mixed with North Sea, where Atlantic Ocean's water of over 35 promille of salinity. Since the density is so different that they form a layer instead. This graph right here shows temperature, salinity, and density in different latitudes. If you see it closely, you can notice that there is a correlation between temperature and density. When temperature rises, the density falls, and when temperature falls, the density rises. Salinity also affects the density substantially, but compared to the temperature's affection, the salinity is not doing anything much. This picture is about oceanic current. This is a global belt made by the oceanic flow called thermohaline circulation. This kind of flow is made because of difference of density due to temperature and salinity's impact. In Labrador water of North Atlantic Ocean, ocean water with low temperature sink and follows the west side of Atlantic Ocean to near the Antarctic and rises up again in the Pacific Ocean and Indian Ocean once its temperature rises. After that, this moving part of water goes back to where it originated and shows a loop. What is the similarity of granite and ocean conveyor belt? The answer is they both happen because of difference of density. As you can see from the two examples, density becomes the cause of Earth's circulation or other phenomena, and due to this phenomenon, there are a lot of infection on the Earth. We started to experiment to find out how water current works by change in density. The first experiment was obviously about the water current because of density difference, but we have divided this into two experiments. One with the fact that the Earth rotates by itself and one without. But first, before I start the experiment, I will tell you about a little background knowledge. What happens if you put high density salt and low density fresh water into one beaker? The high density water would sink under low density water. These are the tools we used in the experiment. To show the difference in density, we used salt and used ink to make the current of water easily visible. This tool is called rotating table. This was used to show the Earth's rotation. This board with 3 holes drilled vertically was used to show the difference of density more clearly. With the high density water sink under low density water, then the water will only go through the very bottom hole of this board. The experiment without regarding rotation was done first. I will talk about more details watching the video. Put water in a paper cup and mix with salt and ink well to show the density difference and the water flow. Then put it in a water tank with fresh water. We can see that salt water doesn't pass the middle or top hole, but only passes the bottom hole. conclude the rotation effect, we used the rotating table to stabilize the water and continued on to the following experiment. The process of the experiment is exactly the same as the former work, except that we stabilized the water using rotating table. Let's watch the video. The preparation is the same. Stabilize the water tank using the rotating table for 10 minutes. After that, we pour water with salt and ink mixed together. Compared to the experiment without stabilized water, the surface of water looks different, but still the water only passes through the bottom hole. Even though the shape of the surface was different compared to the first experiment, we could observe that in the bath experiment, the high-density water flowed under low-density water. The second experiment is about salt finger, which forms because of the difference in temperature and salinity. This second experiment is about. This time I will also start with the important background knowledge. First, do you know what salt finger is? This is salinity spreading in a finger shape that forms because of the increase of instability. Due to diffusion of salinity going faster than that of temperature, when cold and fresh water placed on warm and salty water, that is, warm and salty water placed on the top of cold and fresh water, temperature spread faster than salinity. So, with the warm water lose its temperature and become comparative heavier, and cold water gains temperature and loses its mass. The instability from this phenomenon makes salinity's diffusion look like finger. These are the tools we did in this experiment. Here we have salt for thermal diffusion coefficient and water cap to reduce the force of water falling. These are the steps for the second experiment about salt finger. Likewise, the details will be explained with the video. First, prepare cold and fresh water by filling the tank with cold water and pouring sugar into it to set thermal diffusion coefficient. In the beaker, add hot water, salt, and ink to make warm and salty water. The reason why the bowl cap is upside down on the surface of cold water is to reduce the force of falling water, and then warm and salty water spreading, forming salt finger, can be observed. As you can see in the video, the warm and salty water with red ink that has low density stays over the cold and fresh water. And because salinity spreads, it goes down, creating salt finger. By this, we can conclude that temperature spreading speed is faster than that of salinity, and because of this speed difference, the instability increases and salinity sinks down. Then what is the conclusion of this experiment about density flow of ocean? The answer is because of density difference due to the difference of salinity and temperature, density flow from high density place to low density place. Lastly, we will tell you about our trial errors or what we learned. In the second experiment of salt finger, we knowledge about temperature affecting density much more was not really clearly. So we did not know how much of salt will give more effect on density more than temperature. Therefore, we put too much salt in warm water, resulting too much difference between salinity. The salt finger would not form because salinity's effect on density outspeed that of temperature. Through this experiment, we learned that temperature affects density more than salinity. Moreover, because we observed the density flow with our own eyes, it was a great chance to deepen our obscure knowledge in density flow. This is the end of our presentation, and thank you very much for listening.